here is a rankings guide on how to get a high score in the rankings. As you can see, I basically got into top 20 and I can improve a little bit more. But how do you get there? Well, first things first, you basically need to think of 3 teams minimum. Because how it works is that it checks your best time per stage and it will calculate that as your score. So as you can see, it's 2 minutes 52, even though there is that like Session Guardian, there is something that I cleared at 7 minutes. So, and also you need to get all the maximum levels. So what you need is 3 dedicated teams that you will use for rankings, and you will need other teams to just get the maximum score. No, it doesn't matter how fast they are. Right, but in that case, what do I need? Well, for the first team, basically I thought of the Dark team, because if you check the challenge details, or not the challenge details, the environment, you can see the boss doesn't have anything that interesting. The important thing is when it's in green, it regenerates HP over time. The fight, you can basically ignore it with the Dark team. However, the reason why I picked the Dark team is, as you can see, it's reloading. It's basically that every time you ult, you get 2 sets of signal orbs. And because of that, Lamia can just spam ultimate and you can clear the fight like sub 40 seconds if you are fast and you have a decent team. Like my Selena is triple S rank, my Karina is triple S rank with the weapon, and my Lamia is only double S rank with the weapon. What would you have on them? The funny thing is, Karina only really needs Bufflon, and I took Aestania and 2 Lantern. Technically Gloria would be better than Lantern, but I don't have spare Glorias in these positions. And I don't want to build and farm them just for this, so this is what I meant with. If you have a Gloria here, and you don't want to rebuild Bufflon, go for it. As for Selena, obviously she's gonna be the Da Vinci person, and I put 4 Guinevere on her, cause why not? Alternatively, you can do that instead of 4 Guinevere, it's 2 Guinevere, 2 Aestania, and instead of Aestania here, you can use 2 Lantern, 2 Gloria, if that's an option for you. Again, up to you. Basically, we are just maximizing damage on Lamia. As for weapon harmony, I wouldn't use deadline timing here. I would actually use, where is it? Tenebrion Shock on her, just for the extra shred. For Selena, if you have it, obviously Glorious Afterglow is or Glorious Spear is the best one. And for Lamia, because we are generating so many orbs, you don't need deadline timing, you can go for Glorious Afterglow. Right. I'm gonna show all the teams that I was using, then I'm gonna do a run with them. Right. But that's the Dark team gone. Okay. What would I use on Cithia? Well, obviously you're gonna use Luna. The environmental thing is, you see these puddles, you basically need to explode them with elemental damage. That's all you need to know about it, and given the team we're gonna use, it's gonna be a non-issue. Like, this will just naturally explode. So, what's the team? Well, I would say obviously the Metal Luna team would be the best thing. Because the important thing with this enemy is that you can see here that the nanoplating is that or not, it wasn't nanoplating, sorry, it was variant resistance, is that the more you hit the enemy with one element, it will get more resistant to it, to the point where it will be 100% resistant. You can still brute force it through it, but it's not suggested. So basically, what you would do is obviously use Luna, and again, you kinda need deadline timing on her, not really, because you're gonna swap so much. So it's fine if you don't have deadline timing. I just took it for comfort and for mess-ups. For Watanabe, I would do with the Shakespeare set, because we're just gonna basically swap to Watanabe once or twice. And for Ayla, obviously she's gonna be the Da Vinci, Guinevere, Aestania. And again, Resonance if you have. I don't have a Resonance, but if I would have, I would use the Spear. For Watanabe, obviously it's gonna be Scorch. I believe it's called the Old Torch, whatever. For Luna, again, you can go deadline timing, or if you are comfortable without deadline timing, go with Glorious Afterglow. And you can get around like 40 seconds here. As you can see, 47, and there's still room for improvement. Basically, the gameplay is you start with Ayla, you don't really do anything. You swap to Luna, you do 1 or 2 ultimates on her. Generally speaking, by the second ultimate, the enemy will be full inhale resistant. You swap to Watanabe, you do 1 or 2 rotations. The enemy will lose like half of its armor. You can swap to Ayla to shred the previous resistance as well, like QT swap out. But then you do Luna, and then that's how you do it. As for the last team, I was struggling a lot to find a good team here, but eventually I settled on the physical team. It just felt the best, and the best time I got. So eventually, essentially the buff here is that the less units you use, the more buffs you get. While that is good, I personally didn't find too much value in it. I found it that having a full team was better. But if I only have a SS3 Bianca, I can imagine that if you have a triple S rank Bianca with Patton and Kotti, I think with deadline timing you can absolutely solo it and get a better time, but yeah, it's not for me. Long story short, parry. Every time you parry, Alyssa will get weaker. Right. I'm gonna do some run just to show the teams. I'm not guaranteeing that they will be better than my times I was doing, but just to show like roughly how fast it's gonna be. So let's show the Dark team. So as I said, again, Lamia, Glorious Afterglow at her usual set, which is deck and 2 and 4 Kotti. Selena, Da Vinci with Guinevere, you can use 4 Guinevere or 2 Guinevere, 2 Aestania. Weapon is Glorious Spear. As for Karina, again, use Tenebrion Shock, and for memory, use 4 Bufflon, and then 2 Aestania if Selena doesn't have it. Add Gloria or Lantern, or if you have Aestania or Selena, then you use 2 Lantern, 2 Gloria. Because yes, Gloria and Aestania stack. I would also say don't use the hub dedicated to Karina if you're gonna start with her. I'm gonna start with her. Because that little extra damage from Lingya, or yep, that's how you pronounce it, I'm pretty sure. Like as you can see, the switching number gain extra damage, so if you use the active skill, it's a little bit better. But even if you don't use the active skill, the next switch team member will gain an extra blue orb. It's just like that one extra orb might be helpful. Alright. And again, I wasn't practicing, this is just gonna be a first try. So you start and then you dash cancel that. If you see you don't get enough orbs for Selena to trigger Da Vinci, because I didn't get the blue or red orb, sorry, then you basically what you do is you just use it after you pick the second orb. And then you basically repeat this. You do 3 ping, 2 free pings, and then you don't really need to use the charge attack. It's damage down time, and also we don't want the guy to disappear. That's the most important thing. So don't forget to use the dolphin. So as you can see, the guy is still faxing, but we stopped the animation and this should be enough. And as you saw, it was 39 seconds, it was like only 2 seconds slower than my best. And this was the sub 40 seconds, so it's a really good time nevertheless. Right. As for Luna, there we go. Set team, Luna. I'm gonna keep deadline timing because I don't wanna bother with it, mainly. This is fine. Since we're gonna start with her, she's gonna get Linga. There we go. And Watanabe should also be fine, yes. It has the touch, yes. Okay. So my personal best here is 47 seconds. I already messed up the start, but you can see on the boss that you can see the stacks of like the resistance it's gaining. Sit here with the funny. So as you can see, the stack is max. It was a bad run, like at the start I messed up. Like this was like 50 seconds roughly, and because I messed up at the start, you saw with Watanabe. But there you go, still like it was sub-minute. I wonder if it overwrites it. Yeah, it does overwrite it, so be careful with that if you do good, don't overwrite it. So if I do worse on the physical team, I'm just gonna stop it. But even like this, like even though I made the time worse, right? Like it's still like top 24. If I fix those times, I can go back to top 19. So heck, I can even do better if I grind it out. Alright, physical team. Here I don't suggest swapping anyone. Like you can use the usual stuff you use on them. I would say though that bottom with Kote is definitely better on Bianca. So what was the time we did? 127. Okay, so if I do worse, then I know to stop. Wait here for that. So you can instantly attack Selena, or not Selena, Selena. Okay. Well, we have to make a mistake. And if you feel like you run out of burst, you can swap to your other units. That's a bit rude. Yeah, that's very cool. If you get time lock like that, I would rather suggest to just swap. Don't deal with it. But yeah, it's basically that's it. I'm gonna stop here because obviously this is gonna be a better time than my previous best, but you get the idea. Alright, so hopefully that will help you get a high score. As I said, this can easily get into your top 20 if you play it well and a little bit of molding. But yeah, well, thanks for watching. I hope it helped someone, even though there's only like a day left of the event. But better late than never. Take care, have a good night, and I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe. Bye!